Thank you, Chris. Thank you, everyone. Okay, welcome everybody to the Namaste experience. And today we're going to have a little bit of a family day. And I am very excited because I have a new prop to show you. And Chris or Robbie, someone could sit in the chair, the captain's chair there if you want. But, oh, good. Oh, good. Okay, it's nice to see someone in that chair. So this morning, this is of course the 4th of July week in America. God bless America. God bless the country and the founding fathers who were open enough to hear the ideals of the Christ mind, that we are one, that we are free, that we are a brotherhood of oneness. And God bless us this day as each of us are ready to live into these ideals as not a distant ideal, but as our present reality. So, oops, here I'm on my sister's iPad and I get confused. Let's see, hold on a minute. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so we started this week on the theme of freedom, and I'd like to end it on freedom expressed, on how we live into that freedom. So we started on Monday talking about how this phase of healing that we're in is most helpful. That's the fire alarm at Noreen's house.
What is that?
It's the fire alarm here.
Oh.
Let's see. All right. I'm going to move us out.
Mute her?
Can you hear it? Yeah, mute me. You mute me, and I'm going to move out. Hang on. Okay. Is it going to stop? Okay. Okay, we stopped. Okay, sorry, everybody. Oh, that's an SOS right out of heaven, because you know there are no accidents in salvation. So let's just take that as a helpful moment. Wait a minute, I'm going to close the door. Okay. Okay, so we started the week off remembering that at this phase of awakening, it is most helpful if we don't interfere. And the image we used of that was the mother. Here's my mother, Mary. The image of that feminine motherly love, of unconditional love, that is the love that allows the baby inside the womb to be nourished and nurtured. And that it isn't our job at this time to figure out what to do. It's about receiving. It's about recognizing wherever we are, if something of an upset comes to us, if we welcome it in, if we own it 100%, we feel it and we surrender. So this is a deep surrender to that unconditional presence of love. That's how we started off the week. We recognize that this whole healing adventure we've been in, and it's been, I guess, at least this 2,000 years of awakening since Jesus had that first resurrection that we all participated in, but now we actively recognize our own experience of that. And the directions for that through the last 2,000 years have been variations of forgiveness. Forgive them, they know not what they do. Jesus talked about it 2,000 years ago. Every tradition around speaks about the only problem being a sense of separation from our divinity and a coming back into it by forgiving the appearances that have come into our minds that we have made up, not a reality, but into our minds. And the image for that is often Jesus. Jesus, in that understanding of forgiveness. But today, and with this 4th of July, and you know, they talk about these interdimensional cosmic shifts and a lot of interdisciplinary things that we have entered a new sphere. Well, I don't know if they're old or new, but we are ready to be in the place that actually James talked about in his first book, when he met the emissaries of light, that we are ready now. And being ready now means simply that we can accept the light of our own being is who we are without going through a lot of steps and processes, without going through a lot of effort and a lot of what to the ego may be delight, that we would process and heal past relationships and look at all of these things. But in reality, they can be a delay mechanism for what we already are, that we already are that light. And that in being that, what do we do with that? So I want to say first, just a word about yesterday here in the Boston area. And I'm sure this is true everywhere, but this was my experience because, you know, I'm a Boston girl. But in Boston, we celebrated 50 years of the Boston Pops doing a 4th of July concert at the Hatch Memorial Shell with big esplanade, beautiful greens, and totally joyful. It's always been joyful, but particularly joyful this year because I truly can feel in me the readiness of ourselves to live as, and here's my prop. You ready for my latest prop? Here it is. Can you see it? As the light of the world that we are. And how do we live as the light of the world that we are? We celebrate, we bless. Jesus says we are here to comfort and bless. That is what healing is. It isn't about fixing outside situations. It's about recognizing they're not so. It's about simply a recognition, but it's not so simple when we hesitate, when we feel constrained, when we feel a burden of an upset or a guilt. So this is what was given that came to me from someone that is not, I don't know, she doesn't get up early enough to be on this Zoom. And it's a reading from something called the Grandmothers. And the Grandmothers are a network of invisible beings who express as the sacred grandmothers in time. And they give guidance, and they have little light centers all over the world, many of them, the net of light, or the grandmother's net of light. But her message hit my heart because I knew this was simply true. So I want to read it to you and recognize that this is the symbol of the grandmother's message and of what James said many years ago, that we are ready now. And that if we do forget, we have an oops, which all of us have had, we know what that's like, that if we, own things 100%, allow ourselves to feel them, surrender them, and stay out of the way, that they will pass because they arise from a mistaken idea. And that as we listen with all of our being to where we are, and we trust that the divine flow of love is always the only reality and all around us, and that we follow it. That's what James talked about on Tuesday and Wednesday, to listen with our whole being, to trust the flow of love and oneness and love, and then to follow it. And that brings us into being here as the light of the world, which we've said many times. Jesus said it 2,000 years ago. But how do we do it now? So this is a great little message from the grandmothers, and then I'll just say a word or two about it. So someone asked the grandmothers, now what do we do about the upheaval on earth at this time? Please help me. And this was the grandmother's response. Yes, the grandmothers cried, we will show you. First, turn away from the latest distractions and come home, right? So turn away from the upset. Oh, there's a war, there's a fire, there's sickness. Turn our attention. Don't deny it, but turn our engaging it to home. What's home? Here, right here. We are the home, right? The kingdom, the light within our own being. So turn away from the latest distractions and come home. always home, not caught in the next disaster and then the next one. But always home, not the next political upheaval, not the next anything. Just come home, remembering that even here in time, action that springs from our light, from our own divinity, is action by grace that really solves the feelings and the belief in separation. Oh, thank you, Linda. Global Network of Grandmothers, thank you. Okay, so always home, not caught in the disaster. Be like a magnet, magnetized by love, magnetized by God, magnetized by the one love. That's it, magnetized by love. So those are those simple instructions, got it? Turn away from the upset, return home. This is a return back to our I am consciousness, to the Christ, return to love. It's a return to love. Okay. Return to that home over and over again, they said. Be a beacon of light, steady, grounded, and broadcasting light. Be that, live that. We are broadcasting stations. Like yesterday, the other day when I came to Harvey's Holy Gas Station, it's holy because it's a broadcasting station of love. Have a grateful day, written on every tank, because that is what he's given as a way of broadcasting love. We're here to love, we're here to shine. We're here to broadcast that we are one, and don't worry about the appearances and the disarray. Don't worry about them. They're not solved by fixing them out here. They're solved by realizing and seeing through them here. This is our only reality. Okay, so be a beacon of light, stay steady. Think of and see yourself as one with the net of light. That's what this group is called, the net of light. See yourself filled with light, filled to the point where light pours out of you and radiates into the world. You are a well-wisher, a blesser of everyone and everything that crosses your path. Be that, live like that. Pay attention to how this stance of power, it's a stance of power, this is our superpower, that we are the light, supports you. Notice how taking this stance in the world feeds and upholds you. And think of us often. You know, we're only one, but Jesus says there are legions of souls. We are still souls that have a blueprint or a signature of our divinity. And it seems like we have identities. Here in time it does. But in any case, we are souls created in a oneness, that we belong to the family of divinity, the family of light. Now, this is our part. You have work to do. Now, before with the mother, our work was just to receive the light. The work with Jesus to remove the obstacles to the presence of love. And now we have work to do as the light. You were born to do it. This is important because this is where we are today. This is when the 4th of July in America symbolized by the ideal of freedom, freedom from the tyranny of the ego, freedom from every distressing situation into the one constancy of light that we are. But that light is not here until it is here as us, until it is grounded into our very being. Okay, so this is our work to do. Before you came into this world, you asked for a job of great importance. You asked to contribute. You asked, and this is the answer. This is your job, to stand steady in this hour of need, broadcast the goodness and the holding power of light and love. You are not here to collapse into the drama of the day. That means to catch ourselves. Don't go talk about the politics and this one's right and this one's wrong. Everybody's right because they're the Christ. They're the divinity expressing. It doesn't matter the apparent position someone seems to hold. All those positions come from fear. That's it, all of them. What we think of as good or bad, none of them are true. This is true. the light of our being and the light of our brother's being. Pay no mind to his words and all that. Pay all our heart's mind to the divinity that's before us, so much so that we bow to that divinity in recognition and appreciation. Okay. You are here as a beacon, powerful, radiant. You are a beacon, a torch. When I told you my father said, woke up from that revelation, he said, kid, you're the torch. We're all the torch. We're here to be the torch of light. He was right. He knew it then. He didn't know what he knew, or maybe he did. And I'm just learning it. We are the torch. Okay. Many will experience the power of your light. And when they do, they will turn to the light also. As they recognize it, they will open to its presence within themselves. The day of following the teacher, the guru, the leader has fulfilled. It's not that it's good or bad. It's just, it has fulfilled. All the roles in time have contributed to right now, to us saying, I am that now. And really with true humility, it's a sacrament of humility to accept that that is what I am. And I'm not, if I'm pressured to do something, to fix something, I know that I've lost my home base. Home base is light. Okay. So many will experience the power of your light. And when they do, they will turn to the light and recognize it within themselves. Many will be drawn to this work of anchoring light here on earth, anchoring it right here and right now. Fasten yourself to us, to those that know themselves as the light, as divinity, because we are one. And when we fasten ourselves to the ego of each other, we delay this experience of freedom by being afraid together in all these various, symptom solutions that solve nothing. This is solution at the cause level that restores us to where we belong, restores us to that Father, Mother, God, to that let God's will be done in me, thy will be done in me, because we share one will, not because I'm giving up something, but because I recognize I'm the everything that creation is. Okay, so fasten yourself to the great being we promise you that you are. You are one with us, and we will do this work with you. You will not fail. It is impossible for you to fail. You were born for this. We were born for this. And in my heart, what this means is that we arise in our hearts and we step out in the world as ourselves without the veil of fear over our hearts, without that veil of fear over our eyes, of being self-conscious or thinking, oh no, what am I supposed to do? But trusting this light in me knows how to give blessing. We're here to bless and to share. And each of us is given a way to do it. Like I look in the room and I see Artie. Artie is here to be truly helpful. Hi, Artie. I know that. Artie's 98 years old, has gone through pneumonia twice in the last few months, and bounces right back to this chair to stand and broadcast that we are the light. From the day I met Artie 35 years ago, she has broadcasted one message, and she stays here. We are here to join together and broadcast that simple message. So I wanted to give you an example, and then if Calico, you're here, I'll ask you to take it. Today, don't forget, is Flashlight Friday, and Scott will close us with a song and open his flashlight review. But it's wherever we are, whatever the gifts are. Yesterday, we had a 4th of July party here at my sister's house, right on the water, so we could see fireworks here. My gift is I know how to clean the dishes. I know how to make a platter look pretty. I can do that. I can take a bunch of stuff and make up pretty platters. So I was so excited. I was so excited because the light in me had a means, a form, a place of expression. I said, oh no, Maureen, I'll make all your platters. I'm happy to do this or that. And I could whip them out because it was a gift given to me, not because I know how to do anything of my own thinking, but it's how love and blessing and sharing move through me. How I can clean up a yard quickly because I can just dash right through it and clean it all up. I have a gift to do things quickly at the right time, not quickly all the time, but some things. And I was happy to share my gift. Simple gifts, simple things. Some people knit or they can sing. So if Karen Palmer, I don't know, Karen Palmer is Miss Kindness who has gone viral. She has a YouTube and a website. I don't know if you're here, Karen, I'm hoping you are, but she's a great example of being herself and of giving what she has in a language that's universal. The universal language of love is kindness. What better name to identify with than Miss Kindness? So Karen has been able to see and hear the angels and Mother Mary since she was a little girl. But she was threatened by this because many people didn't think that this was normal and that maybe she needed to be medicated. But in any case, she never lost her ability. Oh, there you are, honey. Thank you. So Karen is an example of being here, living as the light. And one of the gifts she has, like I can clean up a yard or I can make a platter look pretty. Karen can hear the angels sing and they share with her and they gave her a song to give to everybody. So I thought today would be a good day, Karen, if you would like to sing your angel song, that you were given and taught and broadcast that song so that again, we hear the simple lessons of trust, feel everything, allow everything. Okay, go ahead, honey. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you so much. I feel so honored to be here. Are you able to hear me, everybody?
Yes, you're fine.
Okay. So there are angels everywhere, angels who care. They know that you're there, and they always share. There are angels everywhere. Trust, feel, allow. Then you know how to connect with angels now. There are angels everywhere. There are friends, they're everywhere. They're waiting for us to share, and they're always there.
Oh, honey, thank you, thank you, thank you. Well,
Just
have
a
you
just
heard?
a little just a
Yes,
little
go ahead,
side
go ahead.
note of the way that song came through. That song came through when I had lost faith and believed that the angels had left me. And it was me, of course, who had left. The angels never leave. And it was me who was abandoning myself. And so now I know, and I'm so grateful that we are so incredibly supported by the angelic realm. And I will be singing that from the rooftops.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Karen. I love you, honey. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you for giving me the courage,
Oh,
Vicki.
yes.
Thank you for
Yeah.
giving me the courage, Vicki,
Thank you,
to
honey.
share the voice. That's not my voice, that's the voice.
It
Thank
is.
you.
Thank you. So everybody share yourself, share wherever you are, share what you've got. Some of you, if you go on YouTube, you know, Bill and Lisa, Bill Free and Lisa Natoli. Bill just last week put out his second documentary on Awakening Mind. The first one had 1 million views in 3 months. This one, the first day, had 40,000 views. And it's all on this awakening to the love that we are. So go look at what Bill's offering. Go look at what you are offering and give it freely. Don't put a price tag on anything. Whatever's in your hands, your being, your heart, a song, a dance, a documentary, whatever you have, to train a dog, to crochet pot holders, give freely of what you have. The more we give, the more we receive, and we're broadcasting that we are one in love.
What do
So,
we look up on the internet to find this?
Awakening Mind, Carolyn,
Thank you.
Awakening Mind, documentary part 2. In fact, Bill and Lisa are coming to the formal opening of the gas station tomorrow at Noreen's for the Holy Gas Station, and we'll have a Miracles Gathering there, a live one, and maybe show that documentary. But in any case, everyone, watch it if you can. And this is our brother, our little brother. He put together this thing because it came out of his light, and he's given it to the world. So Calico, I see I didn't leave you much time. Please forgive me. And then we'll have Scott. So Calico, can you share whatever you want to say? Calico, just sharing who you are is everything.
Well, I was thinking, I'm not really, I mean, I'm still here, but I'm not really in the world much anymore. But the gift I bring is the gift to actually see my thoughts and with real clarity. Because for me, the awakening process has been one of really getting honest with what I'm thinking. And it hasn't been pretty. I mean, I had to go through a lot of dark nights of the soul going, wow, did I just have that thought and that thought and that thought? And it's like, and it really was a process of going into prayer with Holy Spirit to see it differently. So all I can say is the Course says we're either doing one of two things. We're extending love or we're projecting fear. There's no other thought to have. And the reality is, I have to be very conscious of what I'm thinking, because I can fall into projection quite quickly because it's very familiar to me. And it's actually doesn't even feel fearful. It just feels normal to be fearful. Oh, I don't even know why I'm saying that, other than that's the truth. And right now I am at a place where, the gift I give to the world is, if I'm walking around town and I feel someone's having an argument with someone, or someone's got a sad face, I just breathe in their suffering and exhale grace. And it's like, I mean, this is just the current process that I'm on, and it's fun because I'm good at seeing darkness because I've been in so much most of my life. So now it's like I can use that experience to stay out of it and heal it wherever it is, because it's all my projection, every single bit of it. And so anyway, thank you. And I love the song, and I don't think there's anyone on this Zoom call or listening to this even that hasn't, come into this life going, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way. I don't know what it is, but there's got to be a better way. And so it's kind of like, that's why we're here together, because we have this drivenness inside of us to awaken. And it's like, and that's really, it's the single desire to love. And I didn't know how to love. I mean, I really didn't know how to love. I knew everything else, but I didn't know how to love. So I was kind of a student, a very dedicated student most of my life. And towards the end, it got more intense. And it was like, no, I have to be very honest. I'm not loving this. I'm not loving them. And then the correction is easy, because then it's just going to Holy Spirit and go, okay, I have no control over this. It's just what's in my mind. Help me, help me, help me. And then we go and I find out what the block is. And then as soon as I see the block, it disappears. And I can get back to, breathing in suffering and exhaling grace and love. So there you go. And thank you, Vicki, so much. That's freedom for me.
That's freedom for all of us, Calico. And that is your gift after all those years of mind watching like a hawk. Here you are, ready to breathe in that upset and breathe out grace, blessing, and love. Thank you. Thank you. That's a great example of being the living Christ. That's what we're here as. Okay, Scott, Thanks, Calico. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Chris and Robbie. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Karen, Miss Kindness. And Scott, are you there? Thank you, everyone. So this has been a wonderful week of freedom. Here we go. Okay. Keep going.
I'm breathing in the suffering, breathing out God's grace. After years of watching all my thoughts and seeing all the crap I was taught, now there are no shoulds or oughts. I'm just following simple guidance. The world don't need any correction. It's mine to see it in perfection. So I make a new selection in a sense. Whatever excuse I can find to celebrate the divine, I turn water into wine by opening to the one solution. I've been the problem, I'm the solution. My mind is having a resolution from conflict to the peace of God. The world don't need any fixing. My love is where I'm mixing it up and overflowing in my cup. Now it's past time to say goodbye, so let's find an exit and say hi to this moment and goodbye.
Thank you, Scott. And to that we say, Amen, Amen, Amen. Y punto. Happy freedom, all of us. I love you all. Thank you.
And just like the old TV, wait, stay tuned for the next episode of.
Right. That's right. Flashlight Friday. Here it is.
So Ravi's going to make me the host, which may take a moment or two.